Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Super, super excited on this morning. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Today is finally the day. Today is the big day. Good morning, Grand Rising, Rich Rising. Happy new day to each and every one of you guys. Man, we are preparing. We preparing for it, Rambo. What's going on? We about to be up out of here, Danielle. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about this for 7 months. 7 months we've been talking about this retreat. We've been preparing for this retreat, studying for this retreat, you know, putting everything in, you know what I'm saying, in alignment for it. And today is the actual day that we're going to be heading out to the cabins, man. We got a whole weekend of self-work that we're going to be working on all weekend long, you know what I'm saying, with different teachers that's going to be out there teaching on knowing your identity, the importance of knowing your identity, the consequences of not knowing your identity, the benefits of knowing your identity, you know what I'm saying. Like, listen, we getting into it. Time to pray, time to do yoga, time to do meditation, spiritual fingerprint. Man, we got so much praise and pain. We got so much stuff that's going to be popping off, man. And that's going to be this weekend. It's this weekend. We in Tennessee, Soul Out Retreat. I'm super excited about it for everybody that's on their way out there to meet me in Tennessee. I can't wait to meet you guys out there. Can't wait to see y'all, to love on y'all. How y'all doing this morning? Do me a favor as you're coming into the room. Go ahead and double tap on that screen for me real quick. Go ahead and double tap on that screen all week long. Now, y'all know what we've been talking about all week long. Well, for the past 2 weeks, our series has been on what? On Joseph. We've been teaching on Joseph for the past 2 weeks. This is day 9 teaching on Joseph. And this thing have gotten very meaty. It's very meaty. Well, listen, because we've been learning stuff about Joseph that we didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? We've been learning things about how this thing actually happened that we were very much unaware of, right? So now we're understanding this whole entire story. And not only are we understanding the story, we're also placing ourselves in these different situations. What's going on to Keisha Hodges? What's up, Danielle? Benny Simpson, how you doing? Vita Brooks, how are you this morning? Double tap on my screen as you come into the room. What's going on, Amanda Danielle? How you doing? Gigi over there. Caramel Cutie, how you doing this morning? Complex Simplicity, how you doing this morning? LaShawn, I see you over there. Double tap on my screen. What up, TikTok? Dora, how you doing? Queen, how you doing? Star, what's going on with you? Sheila Davis, how are you? Trish, good morning to you. Double tap on that screen. Lynn, I see you at the airport already. You making your way to Tennessee. I'll see you in a couple of hours. What's going on, Christy Hill? I see you. Anne Marie, double tap on my screen real quick. Let's get our 10 badges goal over there on IG. Let me get 10 badges over on IG. Facebook, let me get 130 stars. Right now, y'all got 70. Get us up. We need 130 more stars to reach our 2K goal, our 200 goal over there. TikTok, y'all know the drill. We need 10K. Double tap on this screen. Chef Shirley, how you doing this morning? What's up, Miss Denise? How are you this morning? Y'all double tap on that screen. Good morning, Grand Rising, Rich Rising. Happy new day to each and every one of you guys. Like I told y'all before, we've been talking about the story of Joseph and understanding exactly what the issue was when it came down. There you go. It wouldn't let me do it at first. When it came down to Joseph, right? So we've been putting ourselves in this situation, and we've been understanding that, you know, a lot of us are having right now in our own life, we be having these Joseph-like experiences, right? Thank you, Edie Nicole. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate you both for those badges over there. You know, we've been having these Joseph-like experiences a lot in our life. Purple Flowers 93. Thank you so much. Gail Loves Life. Appreciate you so much, right? We have people that are jealous of us. We have people that are envious of us. Crystal, thank you so much for that cash app. We have people that are plotting and planning on our demise, right? And not only are these people moving in such a negative way in our life, a majority of the time it's also people that what? People that we love. Understand me. If you're in a situation right now, you're like, you know what, coach? That's the truth, right? That's the truth. Majority of the hurt that we experience is never from people on the outside. Sheba, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Or is it Sheba Love 69? Thank you so much for that badge. Majority of the hurt and the pain that we experience, it never comes from the outside. Reason being is because betrayal doesn't come from the outside. It's not betrayal unless it comes from the inside, from the people that you thought would never do you like that, the people that you thought would never treat you like that, the people that you thought would never let you down like that, right? Your expectation is that people on the outside are going to always behave that way. Why? Because them folks don't owe me nothing. Them folks don't know me. They don't know this. They don't know that, right? So we don't even put that much care or that much thought into people on the outside. So when we having these experiences, it's because we have developed a mentality where we expect for people that we love, and yet people that we love, we expect for them to love us back. That's your biggest mistake. Yeah, come on. We getting into it. Yeah, that's your biggest mistake, because you're putting your expectations on other people. You think that because I love you, then you're going to love me back. That if I do it for you, then you're going to do it back, right, Lily? And this is how you end up hurt, right? Expecting somebody to be to you what you are to them. You can be as real as you can be, loyal, solid, and all of these things. You can be all of these things to an individual, but if that's not who that person is at their core self, no matter how good you are to them, they will never be that good back to you. They will never love you like how you love them. All of these things are choices. Understand me. This is why it's so important for you to understand that, hear me when I say this, divine right of choice. This is what I talk about, divine right of choice all the time, right? Because you get to see how people love. You get to see how they do relationships, how they do friendships, how they do family ships. You get to see how people live, and then you, right there in your own square, in your box. And some of you guys need to draw a square and a box and put a little stick figure in that box and put yourself and say, this is me. What am I practicing in 2025? I'm practicing standing in my square. Understand me. If you ain't got to say nothing, just double tap on the screen. If you know for a fact, you know what, coach, that's exactly what I need to do. I need to learn how to really stay in my square. A lot of times I end up hurt. I end up disappointed. I end up some type of way messed up in one way or another because I have a bad habit of stepping out of my square. I be wanting to go and help people. I be wanting to go and give it to people, and I be wanting to go and make it right for people, and I want to fix this and I want to fix that, and we do all of this all the time for other people, and we don't realize every single time that we do that, we're stepping out of our square. Come on. Draw the box. Draw the stick figure. Good morning, Ra. How you doing? Appreciate that badge. Draw the stick figure. Up under the stick figure, put me. Look at Rashad. Rashad said, ouch, right? Put me. And after you write me up under there, put 2025, staying in my square. Some of you guys may have to write it on a sticky note. Y'all might be thinking I be joking about sticky notes, but I don't. Keep you a set of sticky notes. A lot of times when you receive your red ink pen notes and things that you need to remember, these things are good to put inside of your journal that you travel with. They're good to put in, stick them on, inside of your car somewhere, because you need that constant reminder. Why do you need that constant reminder? Because the behavior that you have right now, you've been used to behaving a certain type of way. And a part of self-parenting is reminding yourself that you're no longer that person anymore, right? It's reminding yourself that you're growing, that you're evolving. So it's going to come with a lot of self-correcting behavior. You have to, as soon as you start thinking that thought, as soon as you about to get out to go help somebody, as soon as you about to go do this and you about to go do that, sometimes, hey, stop right there. Wait a minute. What in my square? In my square, staying in my square. And I say that because you have to understand that a lot of times people don't grow and they don't evolve the way that they need to. They don't heal and develop the way that they need to, not because they don't want it, but because you are in the way. Understand me, you are an enabler. You've created this thing inside of your mind that it won't get done if you don't do it. You've created this thing in your mind that if you don't help them, yes, you're thinking that you're helping them, but you're really enabling them, and you're stunning their growth in their development because you are always in the way. So what I'm telling you is in 2025, I want you to draw your box. Inside of your notes, draw your box, put your stick figure inside of that box and write me. And after you do that, draw the stick figure and put me. And after you do that, put stay in my square. Learn how to stay in your square. I'm telling you this. Listen to what I'm saying. You are your own responsibility. You are your own priority. You cannot fix nobody until you fix you. You have to become right now. You everything that you got, you need. Everything that you got, you need right now. Look around. Everything that you got, you need right now. Understand me? So I have to prioritize myself. I have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, that I'm handling the business that I need to be handling on myself before I start trying to fix other people, before I start trying to come through for other people, before I start making a way for other people. And the way that you do that is you make sure that your cup is completely full. When your cup is completely full, now whatever you have on the outside of that, whatever extra that you have on the outside, then everybody is you're more than welcome to have that extra. But I cannot deplete me to fill you. I can't dip into me to replenish you. I can't stop working on me to come work on you. I can't do that. Understand me? Because every time you do that, you're putting yourself in a situation where you become a person that is distracted. And we know distraction breeds what? Self-sabotage. You'll start to self-sabotage. You'll start to lose yourself. Because if you anything like anybody that I know, what happens is when you are the type of person who have a really big heart, a loving heart. Good morning, cuz. How you doing? When you have a really big heart, you're a loving person and you love people on that level, I'm going to tell you one thing that'll happen. We lose ourselves in people. We lose ourselves in people. Then we start to make it, we create this false sense of responsibility as if we're responsible for fixing that person. We're responsible for being there for that person. We're responsible for making sure that that person is okay on a regular basis. So now, understand me, I'm showing you how distraction works. Because of the love that you have for people, do not think that the enemy will not use the love that you have for people as a distraction. That's a no for somebody. Do not think that the enemy will not use, he will use whatever it is that he can use to separate you from God. He will use anything that he can use to make you become an individual that is not connected to the Most High. That's his goal. That's his job. So he will also manipulate or use the love that you have for people as well. You will be thinking that, oh no, I just love them like that. I love this and I love that. Understand me? And he will use the love that you have for that individual, that soft spot that you have for that individual, that care that you got in your heart for that individual. He will use that to keep you in a stuck, stagnant situation. He will use that to keep you in a situation where you know mentally, right, intellectually, you over there arguing with you should have been gone. You got an internal war going on in the inside of you. You're like, man, why are we still here? Or why are we still putting up with this? Why are we still going through this foolishness? Why are we still tolerating this behavior while I'm still dead? Oh, yeah. You will have a war going on in the inside of you because intellectually, right, mentally, you're not slow. You know exactly what's happening in your life. But because the love that you have for that individual, you will stay in that situation with the high hopes of that one day that this is going to change, that you're going to do better, that we're going to be able to lock in and we're going to be able to move forward and we're going to be able to fix this. But once a person have already showed you this is who they are, then we need to learn how to believe them just what they said. They said that, yeah, you've shown me with your words, you know what I'm saying, with your words and with your actions and your behavior that this is who and what you are. And when a person has shown you that, you now have to do what? In your square, go to your square. Well, you have to do what? Get back in your square. Get in your square. Right? Which way? I got to go to my square. I got to go to my square. Gotta go to my square. Baby, you show me. My square is where I'm centering myself. My square is where I'm powering up. When I hit my square is my way of knowing that, hey, look, my life then got a little chaotic. I didn't start moving a way that I shouldn't. Come on, Tara. I got you. You've learned how to move over to your square. Because when you get to your square, that's when you go over there. Your square is where you deal with the reality, not the false illusion, not what you want it to be, but you have to deal with what it really and truly is so that you can grow and you can move and heal and develop the way that you need to. Understand me, this is what happens when you go to your square. Your square is your step back, step away. Do breathe in, 1, 2, 3, let it go, 1, 2, 3. Your square is where you step back and you breathe. And after you breathe, you do what? You consult God. Give me direction. Give me instructions. Let me know exactly how you want me to handle this situation. Let me know exactly how you want me to move, what you want me to say, and even if you want me to say anything at all. Because sometimes in some situations, the best thing that you can do is zip it. The best thing that you can do is bow out gracefully. The best thing that you can do is walk smooth off. That's it. That's all. Because engaging in conversation will make the matter worse. Trying to explain your side of the story will make the matter worse. Trying to go back and forth and trying to get them to understand this and understand that, that will do nothing but what? Make the matters worse. So you have to step back into your square. You have to breathe and recenter yourself. Calm all of your emotions right on back down, right? And then get out of yourself and get back in alignment with Christ. This is what we're supposed to be doing. This is the behavior of who? This is the behavior of Joseph. This is the behavior of Joseph. Joseph experienced all these different experiences all throughout this passage, right? He had to go through these different emotions, these things, different things that he was dealing with. Now, let's just take a quick journey so that we can get caught up and we can continue to move on from where we're coming from, right? So Joseph received the dream, and when he received the dream as a boy over here in his dad's house, right? Joseph's problem was what? He was out, his brothers, right? Joseph's problem was he was outside of his square. Why do you say that, coach? Because what the problem was, he was telling people his dream who didn't want to hear his dream. He was telling people his dream, people that was, understand me, that was jealous of him, that was envious of him, that went outside of their way, right, to make sure that his dream did not come to pass. This is the reason why I said when you're dealing with certain people, you have to be mindful of your mouth. Be mindful of who you're sharing your information with. No, they can't stop what it is that God is going to do in your life. But what will happen is they'll go outside of their way to try to make that thing hard for you. Not a devil in hell or a man walking God's green earth will ever be able to stop what God is going to do for you. But what they will do is try to make it more difficult, make it more challenging. They will start throwing up bigger obstacles. They will try to become a distraction. Understand me? That's a no for somebody. Make sure you put it in a note, in your notes right there. Because you know, we get out with, can't nobody stop what God is going to do for me. So I can say this and I can say that. No, they can't stop it, but they can definitely make it more difficult. Hello, that's right. They'll make it more difficult. They'll make it very much hard. Understand me? So now here go Joseph. He's out here. He's talking about what God has shown him. His brothers who are already seeing Joseph as a threat, that his brothers who are already very much jealous, very much envious of Joseph because of the love and the favor that's on his life. They then do what? They decide we got to come up with a way to get rid of this individual. This is our brother, but we need to get rid of him because ain't no way in the world he think that we gonna bow down to him. Because that right there, we're not about to do that. So they do what? They go over here. They go out here and his dad sent him to go check on his brother. Send Joseph to go check on his brothers. And they do what? They put Joseph over here inside of a pit. What type of pit did they put him in? They put him in a pit that used to be filled with water. But in this time, it wasn't filled with water. The water had dried out of the pit. So inside the pit, it had serpents and scorpions, right? And the reason why I told you yesterday about the scorpions and the snakes that was inside of there, because I wanted you to understand how Joseph had a Daniel-like experience, right? Remember when Daniel was in the lion's den? What did God do? What did God do inside the chat? I want to see y'all. When Daniel was inside of the inside the lion's den, what did Daniel say? God did to the lion. What did Daniel say God did to the lion? I'm trying to see who reading their Bible. Okay, Karina, there you go. Yep. I see it over here on TikTok. Come on. I'm trying to see who reading their Bible. I'm trying to see who be in their book, because I tell y'all to study on a regular basis. I say study to show yourself approved. Open up your book. You don't know it if you don't read it. There you okay, Crystal King Rocks. There you go. Okay. There you go, Thriving. There you go, Thriving. I see you. I got the answer over here, Morgan. That's right. That net. That's right. What did God do? He closed the mouth of the lion. Understand me? He closed the mouth of the lion. That's exactly right, Crystal Marie. And so when Joseph goes inside of this pit, it has serpents and it has scorpions, but there's nowhere in the text where it says that the snake bit Joseph or the scorpion stung Joseph. So what did God do? God protected Joseph even inside of the pit. Understand me? God did what? He protected Joseph inside the pit the same way that he protected Daniel in the lion's den, the same way he protected Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego inside of the fiery furnace. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this to say that there's nowhere that you can go that you will not have God's protection. He's already told us countless times before that I'm going to be wherever you are. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Understand me? I'm going to always be right there. We got one job, and that job is to follow his lead. The most important part about learning how to follow is this right here. When a person is leading you, whatever is going to happen happens to that person that's in front of you first. Oh, come on. If you are, just spiritually pay attention to what I'm saying. Come on. If somebody is leading you, imagine somebody's walking in front of you and you are behind that individual, right? You're walking behind that individual. That individual is in the front. You are in the back. Whatever danger, whatever heartache, whatever pain, whatever betrayal, whatever letdown, whatever obstacle, whatever generational curse, whatever barrier that's going to be in the front, who's going to see it first? Who's going to encounter it first, right? Who's going to encounter it first? The person that's in the front. So if God is the head of your life, then there's nothing that you're going to face. There's nothing that you're going to deal with. Understand me, that he's not going to be the first one to know. So then we learned two things. I said two things about God that we have to know and we have to find peace in. And those two things was, one, that he's aware. He's aware of everything that his people is dealing with. Understand me, because he's always there. He's omnipresent. He's everywhere at the same time. He is aware. And the second thing that I told you is what? And that, there you go. Look at Anne Marie. There you go. See, he's aware and he's in control. If y'all been here for the past 9 days, y'all know this stuff, right? Because this is what we've been teaching. He's aware and he's also in control. Two things. Make sure you put it in your notes, because those two things right there, those two things you can ride all the way through this year with. Hello, somebody. Hey, that's free game right there. Those two things, when you acknowledge those two things, look at how small somebody would look at that and say, well, wait a minute, what? Those two things are powerful. They are so powerful. God is what? Aware and in control. When you develop the mindset that God is aware and in control, it changes the way that you see life. It changes the way that you do life. It changes the way you think about life. Because now in this moment, you feel me, Heather Smith? Now when you look at obstacles, trials, and tribulations, things that you're dealing with, you don't feel defeated. You don't feel consumed. You don't feel overwhelmed anymore. And the reason being is because, God, I know that you are aware of what it is that I'm dealing with. I know you are not ignorant to my struggles. I know you are not blind to my pain. I know that you are knowledgeable about my struggle. Understand me. I know this. And not only do I know that, you have the power. Only you have the power to change the outcome of this situation. I know that you have the power to shift this thing right on around for me. And when you acknowledge God in that way and look at life this way, then understand me, it changes your view, your whole entire view about life. Aware and in control. Do you see now how those two things are so powerful? Look at purple flowers. Come on. You see why now? Those two things are game changers. Those two things are game changers. God is what? He is. God is two things. He's what? Two things that he's aware of. I want y'all to put it inside my chat. Two things that God is aware of. The two things. Where are my two things? Put them in the chat. Put them in the chat real quick. I want to make sure y'all got it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that badge. Double tap on the screen. Can I get 49 stars? We got to get to 200 over there on Facebook. We only got 151 stars. Double tap on the screen. We need to get 49 stars over there. At least get us to our starting goal. Double tap on the screen, right? Aware and in control, Chef Rhea, I see you. There you go, Lynn over there. Aware and in control. I see y'all getting them in there. Come on. There we go, Sassy Mark. Okay, there we go. Aware and in control. All right, I see y'all. I see y'all. I see y'all. There we go. There we go. He's aware and in control. He's aware and in control. And when we operate with that mindset, then now we can experience peace that surpasses all understanding. People in the world do not. Thank you so much, is Marie DeB. Appreciate you so much. Now we're in a situation where we do what? We got that peace that surpasses all understanding. We in the pit, just like Joseph. You could be in a pit part of your life, and you will have peace in that pit. And everybody's looking at you like, how in the world can you have peace in the middle of everything that you're going through? And you're like, because I understand that God is aware and also in control, understand, of my life. So if he is with me, then I don't have any fear. I can go through whatever I go through as long as I know that I'm in alignment with the Most High. So now his brothers then threw him inside of this pit. And after the brothers throw him in this pit, what do they do then next, y'all? They go and they sit down and they have a lunch. What do you say? They go sit down and they start having lunch in that moment, right? And while they're having lunch, they over there discussing what they're going to do with Joseph. Mind you, the first plan was to get rid of him, to unalive him. Then the brother Reuben, right? Then Reuben steps up and said, hey, let's not do that. Let's just throw him in the pit. Well, Reuben, if we're going to throw him in the pit where there's serpents and there's scorpions in the pit, then that's the same thing as unaliving him. Because how in the world is his fate going to change? You know what I'm saying? Because if the scorpions and the snakes get him, then the same thing that we was going to do to him is still going to be done to him. Understand me? And this is what I told you guys about yesterday, that some people will try to indirectly or surrogately, the same way that they're surrogately praying for you, intercessory prayer for you, there's also people that are doing that in a negative way as well. They're plotting and planning on your demise as well. They'll throw a rock and do what? Hide their hand, which is what we taught yesterday. They'll throw a rock and they'll hide their hand. Yeah, you may have not done the action, but you participated. You had a part in it. You never tried to stop it. You never showed up to put an end to it. You sat idly by, which means you're still guilty of what's taking place in this moment. Some folk feel like, well, just because I didn't say nothing, I just didn't take no part in it, I just stayed over there, mind my own business, then you're just as guilty as the person that actually done the action, because you didn't do anything to stop it. You didn't do anything to bring it to an end. Understand me? So in this situation, Reuben tells them, hey, look, let's not do this. Let's do this instead. Right? So now here he is. He's in a pit. They used to have water. It's at this time it didn't have any water because it had dried out, right? And I told y'all on yesterday, I said, that's just like God, right? To prepare a place for you. That's just like God, right? To make sure that there's no water inside of that pit. So when you go inside that pit, you ain't got no struggles. You know what I'm saying? You just in the pit. And he's already done shut the mouth. What? He didn't shut the mouth of the serpent and the scorpion, right? You just in the dirt. You just, at this point, Joseph, you just sitting down here in the dirt. Is that not like God? What did he say? He says, I'm never going to test you beyond your strengths. And even when I do test you, I'm already prepare a way of escape for you, which means what? Which means what? God always has a plan for you. Even though the brothers think that they were smart, they think that they had this all in the bag. The truth of the matter is the brothers are just instruments being used in God's plan. Understand me? What you say, Coach? The brothers think that they're moving on their own accord, and everything that they're doing it because of their own intellect. They're doing it because this is what they want to do. What they don't understand is they are just instruments being used, understand me, being used to fulfill the promise of the Most High. This is all part of the plan. Understand me, this is all part of the plan. And when I explained this to you, I explained it to you with how Jesus chose Judas, right? Jesus chose Judas knowing that Judas was a traitor. He already a betrayer. He knew what Judas was going to do. He knew the true character of Judas, and he still chose him anyway. Why? Because him going to the cross was a part of the plan. Judas betraying him was all part of the plan. Understand me, Jesus had chosen Judas after he laid 24 hours before Christ, before God. He laid out there and prayed for 24 hours before getting up. And after he got up, then he went and selected his 12, and Judas was among the 12 that he selected after prayer, which meant what? That Jesus choosing Judas was not just a Jesus thing, but it was a God thing. Oh, somebody said, wait a minute, that's heavy. Yeah. Some heartache, come on, Krista Marie. Some heartache, some pain, some things, some of the struggles that you go through in life. You have to understand, God is what? Aware and in control. We go through some hard stuff in our life and we think, oh man, this is going to break me. God is like, nah, this is a part of the plan. Remember what he said. He says, when I test you, understand when you're being tested, I'm testing your strength. I'm testing your strength. I'm making sure that you're locked in. And I gave you guys the analogy. I said, remember the lock. A padlock look locked until you pull it. Understand me? You can take a lock, and when you have the lock up there, right? When you have the lock up there and you have the lock right in place, if it's not pushed down, then it's not locked. But from the natural eye, right, it looks like the lock is locked. You don't know that it's not locked until you come over there and pull it. So what God is saying in our life, when we experience trials and tribulations, he says of many kind, he said, do what? Consider it all joy. Understand me? He says, when you're going through things in life, consider it all joy. Why? Because I'm testing you, and through the test, it builds perseverance, and your perseverance build what? It builds character. Understand me? So you being tested, you being tried, you being put to the fire is to build up your perseverance, your strength, and everything in Christ. How do you know how strong you are if you've never been tested? How do you know how strong you are, that well developed you are? Understand me? If you ain't never been tested, these are things that have to happen. When you take players, you take two basketball players, you put them out there on the court, they can train and they can condition all summer long, and they can think that they ready all day long, right? They got all their stuff, they come out there, they flies all get out. Come on, Candace, they flies all get out. They get out there, got their hair pulled out, got their Nike headband on, got their fresh Nike sneakers. They hit the court, and then all of a sudden, they got somebody that come out there, understand me, and they've been practicing all summer long too. They've been conditioning all summer long too, and y'all about to play a two-man. Well, y'all about to play a two-man, understand me. Now, just like you've been practicing, the opposition been practicing as well. Understand me? You don't know they plan, and they don't know yours. And when y'all get out there on that court, it's every man for himself. Understand me? And you got to be ready. You got to be ready to put in your best work. And you think that because you the time and the hours and everything else that you done put in, you done worked on your crossover, you done worked on your layup, you know how to take it between your legs, behind your back, your passes is A1, all of this, until you get out there somebody who, not only do they know how to pass it across their back, they know how to bring it across their leg and then take it all the way up. You didn't even know that, right? You was working so hard on your layups, you didn't even understand how strong they was from the three-point line. They don't even have to take it all the way down the court. They get right there to the line. They shooting half shot, all right there from the half court. They doing it with a half court. You over there all out your mind. But you don't know that if you ain't never been tested. You don't know that if you never got on the court with these people. You just assume you the best because you've never experienced anything. Understand me? If you ain't never experienced the struggle, if you ain't had to sweat, if you ain't had to cry, if you ain't had to sit up late nights, if you ain't have to do all these things, then you don't know because you've never had that experience. In order for you to build perseverance, in order for you to build strength, in order for you to have character, you have to go through things. He says your perseverance is what builds character. He says your perseverance is what builds character. You got Joseph. Joseph is in the pit. His brothers is having a brunch. They over there talking about all the stuff they're going to do to Joseph. And what happened? These are things that I told you on yesterday. That what happened is, for a long time, we thought the Ishmaelites, which is this group of people, for the longest time, we thought the Ishmaelites came and got Joseph. Then we learned on yesterday that that's incomplete, right? So what happened was, while the brothers are down here, draw your brothers down here. This is why you got the brothers down here. While the brothers is over here with their back turned and they're eating brunch over here what's happening is a caravan of Midianites. The Midianites then pulled up. The Midianites then came and they then pulled Joseph up out of the pit, right? So the Midianites came and pulled Joseph up out the pit. When the Midianites pulled him out the pit, they run into the caravan of Ishmaelites. The Midianites are actually the ones who sold Joseph over to the Ishmaelites. The Midianites got there first. The Midianites got there first. They pulled them out. And when they pulled them out, they gave, get your notes out, get your notes out, get your notes. Come on, put your notes. Get your ink pen out real quick. They gave, Ishmaelites gave the Midianites 20 pieces of silver for Joseph. How many pieces of silver did the Ishmaelites give the Midianites for Joseph? That's right, Inspiring Queen, 20. Shay, 20, 20. Put it in there, 20, 20. The Ishmaelites, come on, Key Marie, how you doing this morning? Miss Davis, I see you. There you go, Heather Smith. That's right, 20 pieces of silver is what the Ishmaelites gave the Midianites for Joseph. What I thought about instantly when that happened was the fact that when Jesus was betrayed by Judas, he betrayed Jesus for only 30 pieces of silver. The chief priest gave Judas 30 pieces of silver for Jesus, and the Ishmaelites gave the Midianites 20 pieces of silver for Joseph, only 10 pieces short. I said, wow. But I can understand it because Joseph was that guy. He displayed great character. I can see it. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Because I keep seeing so much of Jesus and Joseph, just his behavior, his mannerisms, which is why I'm so intrigued with learning so much more about him, because it's just like he just been that guy this whole entire time, right? He's been that guy. So they gave him 20 pieces of silver for Joseph. His brothers are sitting having a brunch, and as the caravan of Ishmaelites carrying Joseph ride by them, that's when, boom, the brother Yiming, his name is Yiming, he comes with an idea and say, hey, why don't we sell him? Joseph is already gone, bruh. He's already been sold. He says, instead of doing this, then let's just go ahead and sell him, because if we sell him, I mean, after all, he is our brother. If he's your brother, then why are you even thinking about selling him? Why are you thinking about harming him? Why are you thinking about selling him? Why are you thinking about betraying him? Why are you thinking about doing any of this in any type of way? And that's when I gave you yesterday, I said, you don't be surprised when the same people that say that they love you, they hurt you. Understand me, this right here, this is a clear confirmation for anybody. If you was thinking for 1 second that just because a person say that they love you, that just because a person say that y'all are family, that they won't hurt you, this right here is a clear confirmation for you that a person will look you in your face and call you family, will look you in your face and say that they love you, and the whole time will still go outside of their way to do what? To hurt you, to betray you, to sell you, understand me, to harm you in one way or another. So yet again on this morning, I say, stop putting your trust in people. Stop putting your expectations on people. People will let you down. People will betray you. Understand me, people will sell you out. People will throw you in a pit. Understand me. This is the mentality of people. This has not just started with you. Come on, Edie Nicole. This ain't just started with you. This has been going on since the beginning of time. Understand me. This is why we keep saying, what did Paul say? Paul said, hey, look, am I here to please people or am I here to please God? Understand me. He said, which one is it? He said, because I can't please God and please people, because I can't serve two masters. My desire is not to please these people. Understand me. Some folk will never be satisfied. I can go outside of my way, go above and beyond, bend over backwards so far that the top of my head scrub the ground, and it'll still not be enough for some folk. Understand me. They'll never get enough. You give them this and they'll want more. You give them this and then they'll want more. They'll find a way to always say that you come up short. And the truth of the matter is, you will never be enough for the wrong person anyway. When a person is just not for you, that's not for you. And there's nothing that you can do that's going to be able to change that. You can give them an arm, you can give them a leg and a right eye, and they'll still want more. Understand me? We work so hard to please people, and majority of the time, it's people that don't even add any value to our life. Don't bring nothing to our life. Have no type of contribution coming with them. We go outside our way to try to love them, to try to be there for them, to try to bend over backwards. And God is sitting over there saying, wait a minute now, hold on. I'm the one that's been making it happen for you. I've never let you down. I've never betrayed you. I've never turned my back on you. Understand me. I ain't never went and did this, and this. And you keep showing up for them, but you can't show up for me. You keep going over there making sure they okay, but you don't never check in with me. I mean, I ain't prayed with you since prayer been a prayer. Understand me. I can't even remember the last time you did a fast. I can't even remember the last time that you opened up the book, or you spent time just to get to know me, or you just sat right here in silence and meditated and gave me the opportunity to communicate back with you. I can't even think of the last time. But for these people that add nothing to your life, that bring nothing to your life, that can't even love you like how I love you, you go all outside your way for them. You make a way for them every single time. But baby, if it's something about me, if it's going to be a slight inconvenience, oh, you can't do it. And that right there, that's the part that I don't understand. How you could be big, so big on people that are so little on you. How is it that you can be so big on people that are so little on you? Come on. Yeah, you don't like that kind of talk right there. Yeah, think about that though. Think about that. So the Ishmaelites come down here. He's in the pit. They at the breakfast. The Midianites pull him out. The Ishmaelites come and get him. When the Ishmaelites come and get him, then they bring him to Potiphar's house. He's sold to Potiphar as a servant in Potiphar's house. Then he goes to jail. And then once he leaves out of jail, he goes up here. He interprets Pharaoh's dream. And now he becomes the ruler. And now he's ruling in the very land where he experienced so much pain, so much heartache, so much betrayal, so many letdowns. Now Joseph have gone from this little boy that was left inside of a pit, sold 3 times. Understand me, he was sold twice. So let me go back. He went from being a little boy in his daddy's house that was dealing with the sibling rivalry back and forth with the jealous siblings, right? This is what he dealt with in his brother's house. He had the dream already, and because of his dream, his brothers are jealous of him. Because of his favor that his dad Jacob have with him, his brothers are jealous of him, so they put him inside the pit. So he went from a house that was full of drama, now that he's inside of a pit that's filled with serpents and serpents and scorpions. Then he comes out of there. He pulled out by the Midianites, sold to the Ishmaelites, then sold again to Pharaoh. So twice he done been sold. Now he goes to jail for 2 years for a crime that he did not commit, all because he wouldn't sleep with a woman that he knew was off limits to him. He's like, nah, I'm not about to sleep with you. Understand me. He saw it as a great sin against Almighty God, and also the betrayal that he would be bringing to her husband, right? And I know some people are like, well, wait a minute, why he care about that? Because Joseph don't have the mindset that majority of us have had at one time or another. He didn't have that mindset of hurt people. It would have been easy for Joseph to go into Potiphar's house and sleep with Potiphar's wife had he had the mindset that majority of us have had at one point or another, right? And that mindset is, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna hurt them before they hurt me. I'm gonna get my one up. You're not gonna have me looking crazy. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. So yeah, he could have allowed his pain to become his personality, but Joseph did not do that. He let his pain and everything that he had gone through in his life, he utilized that in his purpose. He still recognized God in everything that he done. He still was a man that had favor with God. So even though he was going through the things that he was going through, he still counted it all as joy. So he went on to jail. There's nothing in the text that said he argued with them when he put him in jail. He went to jail, and after he goes to jail, he stayed there 2 full years. He interprets 2 dreams while he's in jail. One for the baker, one for the cupbearer. After everything comes to pass, just like he said that it was, they go for 2 years, he's sitting in a prison. When Pharaoh has the dream, then the man remembers that Joseph told him, when you get out, please remember me. Then he tells Pharaoh, hey, you know what? I forgot about a man that you got in the prison. I know you got somebody that you need to interpret this dream, but you ain't got to look no further. You could just go into your prison, bring Joseph up out of there, and he can do it for you, because when I was in prison, me and the baker, he did it for us. So what did Pharaoh do at that moment? He called down to the prison, said, hey, look, get Joseph together. They did what? They shaved him and they put on some robes for him, right? They put the robes on him, which is what I told you guys when I got to that. I said, it's amazing how God gonna always clean you up, right? He's gonna always clean you up, because when your position changes, your wardrobe also changes, right? When you're working in a warehouse, if everybody on the floor, they got on these warehouse uniforms, but everybody that's working in the front office, they have on dress casual clothes. Why? Because their positions are completely different. When you are hourly worker and you're working on the floor, you have on a uniform and you have on steel-toe boots and you have on your goggles and you have on your hard hat. Why? Because your job is on the main floor. You are out there on the floor. But when you're working in the front office, now you done got a promotion, and promoting you means that you no longer have to wear the same garments that you used when you first came in. When I first came in and I'm sweeping the floors and I'm taking out the trash and I'm wiping down desks, or I'm making parts on the assembly line, this is what I'm doing at this moment. But when a job comes open and I bid for that job, and that job is a higher paying job and a better position, then what do? Then all of a sudden, everything about me, my wardrobe, it has to change, because my new position requires new garments. So when they went to the prison to get Joseph, the reason Joseph is being shaved and he's being put on different clothes is because the prison clothes won't work when he's a ruler now. Somebody just put promotion inside my chat real quick. Somebody just put promotion. Just put promotion inside my chat real quick. Those that get it, gonna get it. Just put promotion inside my chat. Come on, just put promotion inside the chat. Those that get it are going to get it. When Joseph was inside the prison, he had to wear prison clothes, the uniform of a prisoner, because that was the position that he was in that moment. And a lot of you guys, God is moving you up out of the state that you used to be in. You're no longer that individual. You're growing, you're evolving, you're healing. Understand me, you're reading, you're around the right information. But the problem is people keep treating you like your old self. Why do they keep treating me like my old self? Because you still got your old clothes on. Understand me, they don't even realize that you've moved up a notch, because you still keep showing up with your old garments on. You have to take off that old uniform. That's not who you are anymore. You have to take off those steel-toe boots, because that's not who you are anymore. People see you as your old self because you keep showing up as your old self. Understand me, when you're growing, when you're evolving, when you're changing in life, you show up, and you show up differently. Head up, chest out. You walk into every single environment like, I'm supposed to be right here, baby. That's right. If I'm in the room with you, I deserve to be in this room. This ain't nobody but God. You can't believe I'm here? Well, baby, I can't believe I'm here neither. But nevertheless, I'm still in the room. Understand me, Joseph is coming out of the prison, and he has to rid himself of his prison garment because he's changing positions. He just got a promotion and he didn't even know it. Again, that goes back and it does what? It gives us clarity to the scripture where we said that God will go before you, right? He'll go before you, and when he goes before you, what does he do? He make your crooked path straight. Think about it. That's not coach. That's scripture. That's scripture. Can't argue with that now. Hold on. What you say? He says, I'm going to go before you. And when I go before you, I'm going to make your crooked path straight. That means it's not going to be any stumbling. It's not, ain't going to be no rocks left in your way. Ain't going to be no weeds, no tweeds hanging all over. He said, I'm going to go before you. And when I go before you, the places that was crooked, they're going to be made straight. All you got to do is walk. That's it. That's all. What happened in this situation? God went before Joseph. He prepared a place for Joseph. Understand me, Joseph didn't even realize that the man was coming for him, right? Because he's still in the prison. This man, the cupbearer, he's back up here talking to Pharaoh. He has no idea, understand me, that they about to summons him, that he about to come up there and interpret anybody's dream. He don't know what's happening. All of a sudden, you got people running down there. Imagine how they running down there, right? The guards running down there. Joseph, hey, Joseph, get up. You know how they do in the prison. Get up. Go on in there and get shaved up. You know what I'm saying? You got to go up here and see Pharaoh. Can you imagine what Joseph is thinking about at this time? Just think about it. We didn't watch the movies where people been in prison. You don't know why the warden calling for you. You don't know why they want you to come up to the front office. You thinking that you done did something wrong. You don't know what's going on. You're like, wait a minute. What y'all about to do with me? What y'all about to do with me? What y'all about to do with me? Is that not what we would do in the natural mind? What y'all about to do with me? What y'all about to do with me? Understand me. All of these things would be going on. But the thing about it is nothing in scripture says that Joseph questioned anything that was happening. It just simply says that he was shaved and they put him on different clothes and they brought him up there. And then I also gave y'all, I said, isn't that funny how that also goes with Lazarus? Remember when Jesus went to go get Lazarus? Y'all remember that? When he went to go get Lazarus, what did he tell them people after he did told Lazarus to come up out that grave? What did he say? Take them grave clothes off of him. You remember when he said that? He was like, hey, look, wait a minute. Get my boy about them grave clothes. The clothes that y'all got on my man, those are for people who are no longer alive. My man is alive. The only thing is he's sleeping. Take them clothes up off of him. Where's pants at? Back then they probably said breeches. Where's breeches at? Put his breeches on. Put his shirt on. What is it that y'all got my man's in right now? You know what I'm saying? He ain't dead. He is sleeping. Take them up off of him. This is what he said to him. So now we see the importance of what it is that you got on. Now we understand the importance of the garments, right? So they get Joseph ready. Joseph go up here. Now he getting ready to talk to Pharaoh. Pharaoh like, I didn't have a dream. I didn't have a dream and I had the same dream and I had it twice. I'm going to break it down to you. He breaks the dream down to Joseph. Joseph does what? He done the same thing that he done every single other time that somebody asked him to interpret a dream. When the two people in the prison asked him to interpret a dream, what did he tell them? He said, baby, look at here. That's God's business. Hear me when I tell you. Wait, what Joseph said? When they asked Joseph about interpreting the dream, what did Joseph say to the cupbearer and the baker? He says, interpreting dreams is God's business, but go ahead and tell me what it is that you dreamed. Understand me? In other words, Joseph was letting them know in that moment. He says, listen, understand me, interpreting dreams is God's business. You can tell me and I can interpret it because the God that's in me and God, we are in alliance. Understand me? That's who I worship. That's who I praise. That's who I give honor. That's who I give glory to. So therefore, I'm letting you know that when I interpret your dream, I'm not interpreting your dream out of myself. I'm interpreting your dream through the power of God that rests on the inside of me, that gives me insight. Oh, that's a fact. That's sweet right there. That's sweet. That's sweet right there. That's sweet right there. Think about it. That's sweet. That's too sweet right there. How does it? Sweeter as the days go by. Our God is sweeter. That's sweet. That's sweet right there. That's sweet right there. Do you feel that? Just think about you standing in a prison. You standing in a prison going through everything that you're going through. And no matter what it looked like, you let them know right off top. Baby, that's God's business. I can do it for you. But understand me now. I can do it for you, but that's God's business. I don't ever want you to think that when I do it, that I'm doing it outside of myself. Nah, I don't have the power or the ability to do it on my own. This God's business. But tell me anyway. Then they proceed to tell Joseph the dream. Then he interprets the dream for them, right? Then he interprets the dream for him. But that's not the only time that Joseph did that, right? So he said it to them in that moment, right? He said it to them in that moment. Then he turned right back around when he was in Pharaoh's house with the wife. He also let her know, right? He checked her and let her know that his alliance was with God. He said, wait a minute, I'm locked in with the Most High. And that's a great sin against him. In other words, I'm not sleeping with you. I will not lay down with you. I will not betray my God. He acknowledged God in his life at that moment as well. And then, understand me, he goes to Pharaoh and he tells Pharaoh the same thing. When Pharaoh asks him to interpret his dream, he lets him know that as well. He's like, hey, that's God's word. But go on. I love that about him. He said, that's God's word, but go on. Then he interprets Pharaoh's dream, right? After he interprets Pharaoh's dream, Pharaoh is thoroughly impressed with Joseph, right? Then, yeah, I want you to hear me when I say this, because some of y'all still got your bags together, and I need for you to drop the bag down. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all still holding on to the little bag that they give you when you walk up out your prison, when you walk up out your old life. You still holding on to them orange slides that they give you. You still holding on to that small toothbrush and that little bit of toothpaste. I need for you to drop them bags. You're not going back there. Hear me when I say that. You need to drop. If you don't have any intentions on going back to your old life, if you don't have any intentions on revisiting anything that you've already left, if you're done sitting in darkness and dealing with dysfunctional things and generational curses and broken behavior, if you know that you're not going back into those environments, why are you still holding on to those environments? Here you are, you walking up out of that, and then you still got the bags packed for you to go right back. That means that your intentions is to go back to that. Understand me, you have to let that stuff go. You have to be willing to move forward in your life. Understand me, anything that God has freed you from, you are free. Move forward from that. When Joseph came out of the prison, there's nowhere in the text where it ever said that Joseph went back to the prison. Once he came out, he was all the way out. When he shaved up and got on new garments, understand me, that was the end of that. Joseph then went from being in prison now to being a ruler. So everywhere that he had to go through all of this all the hard stuff, the heartbreak, the betrayal, the letdown, all of this is simply now a part of Joseph's past. He's no longer dealing with any of these things. He's ruling over all of those things. He's no longer dealing with any of those things. He's ruling now over all of those things. You see how God switched? You see how God switched? Now, wait a minute. He turned Joseph from a servant to a server. Right there in front of all of our eyes. Joseph went from being a servant to being a server. He had people serving him. Understand me? He went from being a person that was a servant. He served other folk. Understand me? He was a servant in Potiphar's house. This is what he done. He ran things for other people. But now, a full circle transformation. Do you hear me? Now, all of a sudden, right? He's the one. Now, he's a ruler. Why do you say that? Because they say Potiphar took the ring off of his finger, right? The ring that had the stamp that put things down for the law. He took that ring off of his finger and then did what? He put it on Joseph's finger. Understand me? This is the king at the time. Pharaoh is the king at the time. He removed his ring, put it on Joseph's hand, and then said to them, "Won't nothing move until you say so." My God, my God, my God. He says, "I'm Pharaoh, and you are right up under me. Won't nothing move until you say so." Understand me? I need somebody like you in my life. Somebody that is covered, somebody that is protected, somebody that's moving like how you moving. Oh yeah, I need a you in my life. Understand me? And baby, I want you to know that you're entering into that place. We came into 2025, and we said the end of 2024, starting from September the 1st, we said this is your restoration year. Everything that you've been waiting on is right there, is waiting on you. Understand me, your restoration year. And the only way that you're going to be able to restore everything that was taken from you is you have to be willing to go through. You have to be willing to surrender. You have to be willing to do the work. Understand me, this is going to require your participation. What your life requires, your participation. And that's going to be on either side, because you can't have more of one thing without having more of the other. The same way you have good, you also have bad. You get to decide in which direction your life is going to flow. Understand me? You get to decide in what direction your life is going to flow. And how do you get to determine that, coach? Yeah, I just imagine that that's what y'all saying. Your decision making, your divine right of choice. You have to be a willing to participant if you're doing good or if you're doing bad. You have to make that decision. Why? Because we serve a God that is not a will-breaking God. He's not going to break your will. If you want to do right, you're going to do right. But if you want to do wrong, then you're going to do wrong. When you do right, you get the rewards of doing right. But when you do wrong, you get the consequences of doing wrong. But it's all based on your own decision making. Understand me? So you're going to have the devil on the left and God on the right on a regular basis. And you're going to always be that middle head that's in the middle. Whoever you give your ear to is going to be left up to you. That's a decision that only you can make for yourself. But I tell the chosen family all the time, what? Whoever has your ear also has your heart. So this is why it's so important that you watch who has your ear, because your heart is what? The center of your emotions. Your emotions is housing inside of your heart along with your will. Understand me? Your will and your heart, it's your will and your emotions sits inside of your heart. If you Google heart in the biblical sense, it says that's where your will and your emotions lie. And this is the reason why. This is the reason why the Bible says guard your heart, because everything that you do flows from it. This is the reason why the Bible says guard your heart, because everything that you do flows from it, right? Everything that you do flows from it. Now, do you see what Joseph went through in all these different stages of his life? A weak-hearted person would have never survived this. This right here, this does not give. This is not a representation of a weak-hearted person. There is no way you could be a weak-hearted person and still go through all of this. No, a weak-hearted person, a person that has a weak heart would have gave up when the brothers betrayed him. You would have been consumed with disappointment. You would have been consumed with hurt, and that betrayal would have had you sitting and soaking in your pain. Understand me, a weak-hearted person would have been a person that when he went to jail for a crime that he did not commit, when the woman was coming on to him and he kept shutting her down, a weak-hearted person would have been going outside of their way trying to prove that this is this and this is that. They would have been in the jail sitting in their cell rotten and withering away. Why? Because they would have been so disappointed. They would have been cursing God. They would have been saying, oh my God, I've been worshiping you and you ain't come through for me, and I can't believe this and I can't believe that. That's because your heart ain't in the right place. Understand me? I need you to worship me and praise me and do what you're supposed to be doing, because it's the right thing to do, and not just because you want me to come and do something for you. Understand me? Now you're only doing what you're doing because you want to reap something. You want to get something from me. Understand me? And don't we get mad at other people in the world when you only calling me because you want something? Is that not what we? Okay, y'all. Okay, coach, that's too real. Now wait a minute. You drink the water. That's messy. I'm gonna drink my water. Y'all just don't tap on the screen. But it's the truth. We get. I don't know what made me think of that. I don't know what made me think of that. Y'all gotta give me that. Y'all, I didn't have to say that. I didn't have to say. I'm gonna drink my water. But double tap on my screen real quick. We almost got 2K on Facebook. Double tap on that screen. We got 1,620. Get us up to that 2K on Facebook. Double tap on that screen. TikTok, get us up to 100K. We almost at 100K. I think we at 85.2. Get us up to 100K over there on TikTok. Come on. Double tap on that screen. Can I get 5 badges? IG, can I get 5 badges? Double tap. I'm just saying that in real life, follow the analogy. In real life, we get upset with people that only call us when they want something from us, that only text us, that only reach out to us, that only show up for us when they want something. So if you are in your natural, right, if that offends you in your natural, how do you think that God feels in the spiritual realm when he's saying, like, the only time you pray, the only time you come to me, the only time you do this, you do that, is when you want something from me? Why can't this be a relationship that we have on a regular basis, whether you doing good or you doing bad? Why does it only change? Why does it change when, you know what I'm saying, and become something that's extremely important to you when it's raining in your life, when the storm has entered your life? How and why is it that way? Understand me, we become instantly offended in our flesh when people treat us that way, but then we turn right back around and we treat God the very way that we don't want people to treat us. That's the point that I'm making. Understand me? Like, no, this has to be something that you want to do. Being a Christian, being a believer, operating with Christ conscious, this has to be something that's in you, not on you. This ain't for the weak. If your heart ain't strong, you ain't gonna make it. I'm telling you, this has to be something that you want, because the persecution, the ridicule, the judgment, the bashing, the constant having people question you. Are you real or not? Is it a scam or not? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? Oh yeah, you're going to face that on a regular basis, baby. Listen, that's the same thing that Jesus went through. You are no better than Jesus. Understand me. You can be going all outside your way. You can be a very good person. You can show up in the community. You can show up in the schools. You can show up in your family and everywhere else, and people will still question whether or not you are real or not. And you have to have the right type of mindset to be able to deal with it. You have to have the right type of heart posture to be able to deal with it. Understand me? You have to have your head on straight. Understand me? Because this is what you got to do. And I tell this to people all the time, right? This is what I tell people all the time. I'm like, yo, no, you have to have your helmet on the right direction, right? Your helmet has to be on in the right direction, because people going to do this good, bad, or indifferent, right? But I'm a firm believer in let your spirit, let your work, let your harvest, let your fruit, let it speak for itself. Understand me? Because a person that have to go all outside of their way, constantly talking about their accolades, their credentials, their plaques on the wall, and what they got this and what they got that, that's a person that don't know their self-worth. Understand me? Your self-worth and your net worth is not the same thing. When a person can show up and they don't have to give you no rundown of who they are, when a person just shows up and do exactly what they supposed to do, they introduce themselves to you as themselves. This is who I am. That's it. That's all. You will see the rest of me when I get up to do what it is that I got to do. Understand me? When you walk into a room, understand me? When you walk into the room, you don't conform to the room. The room, all of a sudden, the room shifts to you, because they're trying to, what is this person? Who is that? Who is that? Like, what they gonna do? They're intrigued by the way you come in. They're intrigued by the way that you speak, your aura, your energy, your anointing. Got them, they swarming. They all over the place. They're trying to figure it out. Understand me? I'm just trying to tell you what it's like to be favored by the Most High. And I believe this. When reason one is because Pharaoh said out of his own mouth, he said he saw the Lord was with Joseph. Understand me? You can see when the Lord is with a person. You can feel it in everything that they say, in the way that they move. It feels different. When they give you a word, that word awakens something in the inside of you. A person on the left could have been just said the same thing to you, but you didn't hear it. And then when they say it, you heard it with something that was deep down in your soul. It woke something up inside of you. Understand me? That's anointing. Understand? When he went into the prison with the warden said the same thing that Pharaoh said. He says, oh, wait a minute, the Lord is with you. And what did he do? He surrendered everything that he had over in the prison. He said, no, you run the prison, because as long as you running it, it's going to run smooth. It's going to succeed. Why? Because the Lord is with you. Understand? Which then lets us know that when you're operating with Christ conscious and you're showing up as a great representation of who God is in this earth, you are undeniable. Folk can't even deny you if they want to. They can't, because of your energy, because of your aura. Understand me? Your very presence, it makes it known to folk that you are somebody. And what the Bible says you're a peculiar people. You know what I'm saying? A royal priesthood. Understand me? Then he told the king, he said, there's going to be a distinction between my people and your people. My folk won't even look like your folk. My folk won't show up like your folk. You're going to be able to tell who mine and who's not. Understand me? That's what lets us know that we have been set apart. You trying to fit in. When God said, I'm setting you apart. You trying to blend. You're not supposed to blend in. You trying to go. You stop trying to go with the flow. Understand? Wait a minute. Get from over there. No wonder he said, you my sheep and I'm your shepherd. Because we got to have, we got to come grab, he all day long, he spent his time grabbing us from walking over somewhere. Get from over there. Go get them. All day long, this is how he had to spend his job. His job all day long is to keep us over here where we supposed to be at. Constantly grabbing us up all day long. Pulling back. Hey, come here. All day long. This is how God's moving in our life. That spirit of discernment, when you're operating with a spirit of discernment, your spirit of discernment is checking you all day long. Anybody that know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. You want to get on somebody, you don't even do it. You want to do it real bad, but you know the consequences of you doing it. So you practice your desire restraints, because the way that you want to act, you know that it's not Christ-like. So you don't say nothing. When you know that you can read them for filth, and you're like, if I get on you, I ain't gonna come up off of you. So the best thing for me to do is step back and step away. Go ahead and breathe. Get back into your square. Consult God. Figure out, do I need to walk away or do I need to say something? Majority of the time, it's gonna be say nothing. Walk on away, because who you trying to prove something to? Who you defending yourself to when I say that I'm your vindicator? Why are you going back and forth with somebody that you ain't even got to go back and forth with? That's a waste of your time, a waste of your energy and your effort. Get focused, move forward, right? On a regular basis. Now he's in control of all of this. But the funny thing about this thing is, it comes a point in time when the very brothers who did what, who sold, who threw Joseph inside the pit, who did all of this to Joseph, now they find themselves, right? Because when he interprets Pharaoh's dream, it says you're going to have 7 years where everything is going to prosper, and then you're going to have another 7 years where there's going to be famine, and the famine is going to be so great that even the 7 years that it was prospering, you're going to forget that even happened. It's going to be so much hunger and so much despair and everything that's going to be going on in the land that you're going to forget that you had 7 years of great things happening. Understand me. And this is what we be forgetting right here. Understand me. We forget that by the time we have this happy, joy, smiling and everything, rocking and rolling and going the way that we wanted to go. And then all of a sudden, boom, the bottom fall out. Heather Smith, let me talk about you for a second. Heather Smith come to the Chosen Family, been in the Chosen Family for about 2.5, maybe even 3 years. Happy, joy. She's studying to be a speaker. She's speaking at her church, doing everything up under the sun, rocking and rolling, coming in, writing down all the notes for me, sending me all the notes, doing this, doing that. She is working. She's working it out, right? Got a relationship with God, separating herself from stuff that's no longer beneficial to her growth and development. She like, Coach, I got it. Showing up every day. She excited about this word. She excited about what's going on. Then what happened? Right in the middle of her growing, her evolving, just now getting things right and rolling and seeing where she been messing up at. And like, now I got to do this and I got to do that, right? I got to fix this, I got to fix that. And then now when you get right here, what happened? Cancer come. And when it come, you got a decision that you got to make. You got a decision that you got to make. Your bottom just fell out of it. Why now? Why I got to deal with this right now? Why I got to go through this right now? I'm getting my life together. I'm in a study group. I'm signing up for different classes. I'm doing this prayer. I'm doing this fast. Like why now? Why right now? Understand me. One thing that I can say about her is this right here. You know what I'm saying? She inside the group and she like sends me the message. She says, Coach, listen, this the report that I got, but I'm trusting God. So we praying, she going through all her sessions. She's writing it on social media. She's like going through this whole thing. The whole entire time, she had a decision that she had to make. The whole entire time, she had a decision that she had to make. It's either you're going to give place to the enemy or you're going to trust God, right? You're going to either give place to the enemy or you're going to trust God. You know how hard it is to trust God when you done did all of this and then all of a sudden your bottom fall out. Like, why you didn't do this earlier than this? Why you didn't do this before that? But what did she do? She continued to fast. She continued to pray. She continued to show up in class. She continued to give God glory all the way through the whole entire storm. Even when it got time, the final times when she has to do her final chemo. I'm going into my final chemo. She happy as all get out. She like, Coach, this gonna be the last one. And then what happens when she gets to the last one? I done caught a cold. And as long as I'm sick, I'm not going to be able to do my last chemo. They're going to have to put it off. Do you know the level of disappointment that would bring to a person? Do you know how hard that would hit a person? They all hyped up. They didn't beat what they felt like was the hardest part of their life. They have finally made it to the finish line. And before they can get their final treatment, now you tell me that because I got a cold, I'm not going to be able to take it. So now you got to dial it back. What you got to do? You got a decision that you're going to make. It's either you're going to be locked in alliance with Christ, or you're going to go on your own way. This right here, this is why I say this is not for those who are weak at heart. Understand me. You got to be willing to push through in spite of whatever it is that you're dealing with in your life. Then we talk and she said, well, Coach, I got it. I'm going to keep going. Then she goes back and she goes to the final appointment. Get the last chemo, right? Get the last chemo. Then she calls me. She texts me. She texts me. She says, Coach, I got some news for you. I'm like, what's the news? I'm cancer free. Immediately, I got tears screaming down my face. Immediately, I'm over here and I'm like, I'm bawling. Right? I'm bawling because I'm like, I was trusting with her, praying with her, believing with her. And I was just like so ecstatic, just happy for her and her family. Because if anybody, you deserve this, you know what I'm saying? So in this moment, it got me. And I was like, yo, I love this. Why? Because the people that's in my chosen family were able to witness God's grace and his mercy. They was able to witness a person actually being healed. They was able to witness a person actually going through something and operating with Christ conscious to the point of that even though I'm in this slum, in this dark hour, in this what I would call a pit in my life, I'm going to show you how I'm going to continue to push through. Do you know how it feels? Like most of us will never know how it feels, right? She has something that a lot of us, I hope and pray that, we never experience, but I would, what I'm saying? Like I want to experience, but not experience it that way, to have no trace. To get to the point where they can't even see where it was, that it was ever there. To get to that point where they can look and now can't even tell that you ever even had something. This is how good God is. Do you hear? This is how, and I just wanted to share that with somebody. Whoever is going through a tough time in your life right now, I want you to know that, listen, God is a good God. He's a gracious God. Whatever it is that we're going through is part of the plan. All you have to do, stay the course. Understand me? It's just stay the course. Now, everybody won't have that outcome, and that's okay, right? Let me tell you something. Everybody won't have that outcome. We love to have outcomes like this, where everything works out this way, and that you know what I'm saying, everybody is healed and you move forward. But the truth of the matter is, there's going to be some times in your life, understand me, where you experience hard stuff in your life and you go through sickness or you go through an illness, right? Because in one season of my life, I'm celebrating Heather and her being healed and her health improving and her coming back and doing her own thing, right? And now her, back in the game and all of that. But then in another season, I'm showing you how it's all part of the plan, and you can't be distracted when the plan shifts. In one season, I'm celebrating with her in her life. In another season, I'm grieving because God healed Heather, but then he took my sister. What are you going to do, Coach? You sitting down or you getting up? What you gonna do, Coach? How you gonna move this right here? How you gonna explain this right here? How we gonna get it done? Do you see what I'm saying? You have to know that in all things you have to give thanks, and your plan and God's plan is not the same, and you can't be distracted by the way things move in life. It's going to be sometimes when things will work out this way and it's happy, joy, and you dancing and praising and shouting all over the place, and then there's going to be sometimes when you're going to have to make funeral arrangements and still be dancing and praying. It's going to be times when you have to stand up at a memorial and you're going to have to still be dancing and praising. And it's going to be times when you're going to be at home and it's going to be dark and it's going to be all these feelings coming to you, and you're going to have to get yourself up and you're going to have to still be dancing and still praying and still worshiping and still pushing for God to move speedily and mightily in your life. In other words, I'm telling you that your situations Yeah. Your praise, your worship, your connection to God should not be predicated on the situation that you're in. It can't rest on that. It can't be determined by that, because we're going to win and celebrate the life, but we're going to also have to win and celebrate when we have to bury them as well. We should not be a people, understand me, that get to that mindset where we think that people are going to be here forever and a day. Do we want them to be here? Of course we do. But when it don't happen, we cannot get distracted and allow those things to pull us out of alignment. Understand me, you cannot allow things in this world to distract you. This is the reason why I said it's a bubble, and we're in a small part of that bubble, right? We're in a bubble, but then we're in a small part of that bubble. The big bubble is the world. The small bubble in the inside, that's us. We are in this world, but not of this world. Thank you, Shay, for the cash app. This is why it's important, because everything is going to come out in the wash. Why do you say that? Because after his brothers then put him through all this heartache, all this pain, he stayed his course. He stayed focused. Joseph stayed focused no matter what it was that he was going through in his life. When Potiphar gave him all the control over everything, he ran it for 7 years. He stored everything up in the storehouse for the 7 years. He stored it up so good, understand me, that they had enough food in Egypt to last them through the 7 years of the famine. That's how good this man was at what it was that he done. But the reason why he was so good is because he always stayed in alignment. And as long as you're in alignment, then you have God's protection. Understand me, you have his protection, you have his provision. As long as you remain in alignment, you have God's protection and his provision. So in the 7 years where there was nothing, Joseph was the only one that still had stuff over there in Egypt. So his brothers and his daddy that's over in Canaan, they now got to travel from Canaan back over to Egypt if they don't want to starve. So they have to go over there. They come over there. Joseph recognizes his brothers, but his brothers don't recognize him. Joseph looked at his brothers. They said he turned his back and he had to cry. Why? Because he didn't even want them to see him crying. Understand me? He looking at them and they looking at him and they don't recognize him. Well, coach, why don't they recognize him? They don't recognize him because they thought that he was unalive. They thought that when they put him inside of the pit, that Joseph, was eaten up. They didn't think that Joseph was even alive. But because again, remember I told you they was unaware of the fact that the Midianites pulled Joseph out the pit and then sold him to the Ishmaelites. They didn't know that all of this had went on. They are from Canaan. These people are in Egypt. So this man, when he told them, I've been kidnapped from my own land, this is exactly what happened in this time. And now here we are, they brothers coming over there. And when they come over there, they begging for food. What does Joseph do? Joseph don't treat them how they treated him. Understand me, you don't benefit anything by treating people how they treat you. When you're operating with Christ conscious, you owe it to yourself to show love no matter what. You don't exchange negative energy because they negative. You don't get down on their level. You don't lay your religion down. That's not how we behave. Understand me, I'ma love you in spite of you. I might distance myself from you. I might go my own way, but I'm not talking to you and I'm not talking bad about you neither. Understand me, just because I'm not talking to you don't mean that I'm talking bad about you, because that ain't even happening. What I do is I just stay away from you altogether. I honor what they say. If you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing. So I just don't say nothing to you at all. This is what spiritual people do. We don't badmouth you. We don't slander you. We don't discredit you. We don't go outside our way to try to destroy you. We just nothing you. We just nothing. We don't have no type of dealings. We don't interact. We don't chat. We don't do none of that. I just stay out your way. Just stay out your way. We just nothing you. Just stay right on up out your way. That's it. That's all. Joseph's brothers came and he blessed them in spite of them. Gave them grain and their money back. Joseph had one request. He wanted to see his baby brother, Benjamin. The reason why he wanted to see Benjamin is because him and Benjamin, they were brothers. Like they got the same mom, same dad. And he wanted to see Benjamin. So he said, hey, look, I'm going to hold one brother, which was Simon. I'm going to hold Simon here while y'all go back and y'all get Benjamin. Bring Benjamin back because I want to see my brother. So they leave. And when they leave, they then realize after they get halfway through the journey that he done gave them the grain. You know what I'm saying? The grain, he done gave them their money back. And he also gave them food for their travel and gave food for their donkeys' travel. Understand me? Well, why would he give so much? Because Joseph was operating with Christ conscious. Anybody that operates with Christ conscious operates in what? In abundance, operates in overflow. That's the type of God that we serve. So now they got more than enough. Well, they go home, and when they go home, this was the part that got me. They left Simon there that whole entire time. They actually left Simon there with Joseph, guarded by Joseph, this whole entire time until they ran completely out of the grain. They had to get all the way over there. You mean to tell me, y'all, we done went all the way home, right? We done told Jacob, our daddy, exactly what happened. We done let them know. You know what I'm saying? And Simon's still been over here this whole entire time, right? And Jacob is over there like, y'all not taking my son. Y'all not taking Benjamin with you, because the last time one of my boys came out there, he ain't never come back. Then he goes so far as to say that y'all keep taking my children from me. This is what he told his children, because the boys that he talking to, they are also his children as well. He just favored Benjamin and Joseph. He like, nah, my boy ain't going with y'all. But he got to the point in Canaan where they had absolutely no food at all. They didn't have anything. So he had no other choice but to send Benjamin with his brothers to go see Joseph, or else everybody would have been done. And I say that to say that when you're growing, when you're evolving in life, you're going to have to do like Jacob did. And you're going to have to become a risk taker. You're going to have to surrender. In that time, Jacob said no, until he got to the point where he didn't have anything else. And in that moment, what did he do? It was blowing my mind, because Jacob did the same thing that Joseph did at that moment. Jacob, once he got to the point where he didn't have anything, he surrendered everything that he had left. That's when the moment that he acknowledged God. In that moment, he says, you know what I'm saying? He's to God Almighty. I got to give it to him. If I'm going to have to send him, and if I lose him, then I lose them. Understand me? And that's how God wants us to show up on a regular basis, that vulnerable, right? Because he says, when you are weak, that's when I'm strong. That's when my strength is made perfect then in your life. When Jacob got to the place where he was at his weakest, when he was at his most vulnerable state, when he didn't have anything else, he's like, you know, God, I got to give it to you. I got to surrender it to you. I just got to let it go at this point. There's nothing that I can do, because if I don't send Benjamin up here with them, then I'm going to lose everything. And sometimes this is why we get to that place in our life where it's like, I'm losing everything. When you start to feel like you're losing everything, you're not. That's when you're actually gaining everything. The moment that you think that you're losing everything is the moment that everything is coming right how it needs to be coming. And all you got to do in that moment is be patient. Red ink pen note for some people. Some of our greatest moments come from our surrenders. Some of our greatest moments come from our surrenderance. When we surrender, we see double portions. When we surrender, we see doors opening, things happening in our life. Like when we surrender, practice surrendering. It is a powerful, powerful tool. When we learn that nothing belongs to us, not even our own life. When we learn that nothing belongs to us, not even our own life. Because whenever he get ready, he gonna take that. And he don't even care where you at when he do it. You can be at a job. You can be at a basketball game or football game. You could be laying comfortably in your bed. You can be sitting in the bathroom on your toilet. And you can be in perfect health. The reality is, it doesn't belong to you. We false claiming. That's not yours. And we have to understand that. We have to position ourselves for the blessings of God. You have to understand that we serve a God that is the type of God of, I didn't see that coming. I didn't even see that coming. Yeah, that's the God that we serve now, Crystal Marie. We serve this type of God. I didn't even see that coming. I didn't even see that blessing. I didn't even see that open door. I didn't even see that opportunity. I didn't even see my life changing like that. Oh my God, when you get to a place in your life where you learn how to fully surrender, how to be a risk taker, how to put all of your expectations not on people, but solely into, oh yeah, all of a sudden things will start happening for you out of nowhere, and it will blow your whole entire mind. You over there like, oh my God, I did not see that coming. I didn't see that coming. I didn't even know I was going to get healed. I didn't even know I was going to get delivered. I didn't even know I was going to get clean. Because I was so far in my mess, I never thought that I would be right here today. Understand me, we serve a I did not see that coming type of God. And he'll do it for you every single time. But you have to be willing to meet him halfway. And this is a perfect example of when we have to meet God halfway, because Jacob did not want to send Benjamin at all. Understand me? But he realized in order for him to receive the blessing, he was going to have to go ahead and do the thing that he did not want to do. And this is why I tell you that your blessing is on the other side of that hard, that thing that you don't want to do, the thing that you have to get up and you have to intentionally, purposely do that thing. Those things that's easy to you, those things are easy. Do that hard stuff, do that challenging stuff, do that risky stuff, because that right there, that's going to be the thing that you need to really get the outcome that you really and truly want. Everybody want to do what's easy. It's easy to do what's easy. What people don't want to do is what's inconvenient to them. If it's inconvenient to them, if it's trying to them, is this going to require something extra out of them? Those are the things that people run from. But you should be running to those things. Run to the challenge. Push yourself to that next level. You deserve it. He sent them, and when he sent them, Jacob saw his brother. He cried with his brothers. He gave him special privileges, right? He looks at him, he's hugging him, he's talking to him, all of this, and still did not reveal himself at that moment just yet. He's talking to him and all of this. He give him all this different stuff, right? And then he puts money in their sack again. He put grain in their bags again. And what does Jacob tell him? He says, go get my dad. He asked them, he said, is my daddy alive? Once Jacob revealed who he was, his brothers automatic response to that was they thought that Jacob was going to punish them. They thought that Jacob was going to treat them how they treated Jacob, but it was a total opposite. Understand me? They thought, right? They thought that Jacob was going to punish them. Jacob did not punish them, though. That's not what happened. He said, go get my daddy. Go back to my city. Go back to the city of Canaan, and I want you to bring my daddy back here, right? This is what I want you to do. I need you to go and get him and whatnot. The brothers now, their mind is blown. You mean to tell me we thought our brother was unalive? We thought that we had then lost this man. We thought that we had then got away with what we done. Because remember, Jacob was looking at them and he was like, why y'all looking at each other like that? You know what I'm saying? Jacob knew it was something going on with these boys. He you know what I'm saying? He felt the energy from them. Why y'all acting weird like how y'all acting? Keep in mind also, right? Who knew Joseph the whole time knew who they were. He knew them, but they didn't recognize him. Understand me? So in this moment, when he reveals himself to them, they are like, oh my God. They was expecting him to behave one way, and he did not behave the way that they expected him to behave. Not at all. So in other words, I'm telling you that there's going to be some times in your life, some experiences that you're going to have where you're going to have to be good to people that wasn't good to you. You're going to experience that in 2025. You're going to experience sometimes in your life where you're going to have to be good to people that are not good to you. Understand me. You're going to have to be respectful to people who did not show you respect. Not because you are afraid of those individuals, not because you feel intimidated or anything like that, but because it's the right thing to do. That is the challenge. That is the challenge. That's what I'm leaving you with today. There's going to be some times in your life where you're going to have this experience. Some of you guys are already going through it right now, have already experienced it on the job this morning. They just sent you that email and you ready to give it to them. Don't do it. You ready to pick up the phone and call them and read them for filth. Don't do it. You ready to respond to that text message and you already been talking to the phone, so you got it all typed out. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Your power is in your response. Some folks want your power, which is your response. What did Jacob do? Jacob gave them the total opposite of what they expected from him. They expected Jacob, understand me, to give them what they gave to Jacob. They thought that Jacob was going to retaliate, that he was going to get his lick back. This is what their expectation was, right? Why? Because they was projecting. This is why. Because they was projecting. Understand me. They saw Jacob like how they saw themselves. No, that's who you are. That's not who I am. Oh my God, understand me, they were projecting, right? They thought that because they were the brothers and they came from the same family, that you're going to behave the same way that we behave, and we know what we done to you, and we know we are deserving of you doing it back to us. And when you step up and you able to show folk that you don't have that type of power or authority over me. You hurt me, but I'm not giving you the satisfaction, understand, of seeing me sweat. I'm not finna let you get up under my skin. I'm not finna let you trick me up out my spot. I'm about to have me a good day. I'm about to be in a good mood. I'm about to have a smile on my face. No, my biggest lick back is letting me showing you guys that even though you put me in a pit, I'm still the ruler. Understand me. Me getting my lick back is letting you know that even though I was sold twice, understand me, I'm still the ruler. Even though I went to prison for 2 full years and got forgot about, I'm still the ruler. The one that you tried to go outside of your way to stop, to prevent from being in the position that I'm in right now, so that you wouldn't have to bow before me, is the very person that you are right now bowing before. You went all around this way to keep from bowing for me, just to have a full circle moment to where you're doing the thing that you did not want to do. You didn't want to acknowledge the favor that was on my life. Now you see that it's undeniable. You can't deny it. You didn't want to bow before me, but now you got to bow before me. You thought that I would never be here, never amount to nothing, that there would be no this and be no that. And look at me. I didn't live outside of the limits that you placed on my life. I'm doing bigger and better than you could have ever imagined. You thought that was the end of me, but honestly, that was at the beginning of me, because you guys were nothing but instruments being used by the Most High God to do what? To push me into position. I'm about to go, because we're going to be here another hour. We'll be here another hour, best friend. Yeah. Oh, do you? Checkmate. Just put in my chat real quick. Just put checkmate. Just put checkmate. I'm about to explain this to you real quick. I'm about to go. Checkmate. Understand me. You thought that you really had it like that? Understand me. You really thought that you had a checkmate. You thought you really had it like that. But the truth of the matter is, you was just an instrument being used by God to push me into position. God was using you, understand me, to get me to where it was that I needed to be in order for me to get into the position that I needed to be in, so that the scripture would be fulfilled. I reached my promise. My promise was given to me over here when I was just a boy. In order for me to reach my promise, I had to go through the process. There's always a what? There's always a process before promise. You was just a part of the process. Understand me. So if I would have never came from here to help you here, then I would have never got sold over here, and I would have never made it to Potiphar's house. I would have never been in the prison, which then would have meant I would have never encountered the 2 prisoners, right? So even though the man that forgot about me, he forgot about me, but in one season, but guess what? The fact that he remembered me when the time came, right? When he remembered me when the time came, then guess what happened? That right there, him remembering me when he needed to remember me, is what brought me right here. So everything that I experienced was exactly what I had to to experience in order for me to get into the position that God promised me here. You was just the instrument. Checkmate. It was chess, not checkers. You really don't have the power that you thought you had. Checkmate. You want me to retaliate when I'm living this good? You want me to get down on your level when I'm living this good? You want me to have hate or animosity, jealousy, enviousness, any of those things flowing through me when I'm living this good? I understand the power and the move of God. I'm not experiencing nothing that I'm not created to experience. My life is perfectly orchestrated by the Most High God. Whatever it is that I'm dealing with, that's my portion. That's my portion. And I got to take it head up, chest out. That's my portion. I got to deal with it. I got to bob and I got to weave and I got to navigate through all of this. It's part of the process. We're all going to have to do it. Can you imagine standing there, wanting somebody to be mad that ain't mad? Want somebody to punish you and they don't punish you? Want somebody to get their get back and they don't want no get back? People be mad at you when you don't care. People be so mad at you when you really don't care, when you don't care and you don't give them. Baby, listen, you would have thought you would have offended them. Like, baby, I didn't. Yeah, they be so bothered by you not caring. They be so bothered by you not being upset. Some of y'all need to learn the power of really not showing emotion and not giving a response or a rebuttal to certain people. Baby, that's the powerful get back. When you don't say nothing, you don't do nothing, you just let God handle it. They don't know what to think. They don't know what to think. They don't know what to attack. They don't know how to move, because it's like, yo, they just act like they don't care. Don't. It's not an act. You know what I'm saying? It's really and truly not. I really don't care. I'm not gonna lose any sleep about it. I'm not going through anything about it. I'm just gonna let it be what it's gonna be. God is gonna work it out in the end. Hey, wait, next. It's all a part of God's plan, right? But then Joseph tells him to go and get his dad, and that's what we're going to pick up on Monday. On Monday, we're going to pick up on when Joseph tells his brothers to go and get his dad, which is going to be 45. Genesis 45 is what we're going to be on when we come back on Monday. I absolutely love you guys, but I got to get up out of here because I got to make it to Tennessee. Y'all know my first retreat is happening right now. Today, I got people texting me, calling me, emailing me. Everybody is making their way right now over there to out to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. We headed out there. Man, my first retreat is sold completely out. It's about to be a time out there. We waking up, we doing prayer. Man, listen, everything from prayer to meditation to spiritual fingerprint to the belonging ceremony, a release ceremony. We're doing a black tie fair dinner party. Man, everything is going to be catered. Man, for the food is all being provided, catered by Chef Shirley, a caterer out of Alabama. She will be out there, you know what I mean, cooking up all the meals. I'm talking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's right, man. When we do it, we got to do it all the way right. You know what I'm saying? We got so much gift, so much love, so much stuff coming to everybody that's participating in this retreat. I cannot wait to get out there. We even got praise and paint. That's why we got the paint party going on out there. We're about to have a time in the Lord. I want you guys to know that we're about to have a super, super time in the Lord. I'm super excited about it. Classes, we got classes. Listen, I don't care how nobody else do no retreat. If you come anywhere around me, it's something that you're going to leave with. You're going to leave with some inspiration. You're going to leave with some motivation, and you're going to leave with a lot of word. And I don't bring nobody around me that can't sit down and get some word. This retreat is going to be, it's called Know Your Identity. I'm bringing in a licensed coach. I'm bringing in a coach that's coming in to actually teach a class. I'm bringing a minister to come in and teach a class. And I'm bringing a school administrator, a person that actually, you know what I'm saying, have been in the school system for a very long time, dealing with personality and different stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing who you are, the importance of knowing who you are. She's coming and got a whole workshop put together. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I pulled out all stops when it came down to this. We got Natalie is going to be flying in from California. She's going to be coming in there doing yoga and meditation. Oh yeah, she's going to get us all the way right in there. You know what I'm saying? We this it. I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm over here happy as all get out. I got a DJ for the weekend, DJ Be Kind. So my house gonna be, you know what I'm saying, like the mood gonna be set in my crib, you know what I'm saying? And it's a cabin, and we all gonna sleep together. We getting up together. We gonna pray together, you know what I'm saying, worship together. We gonna study together. Like, this is going to be one of those moments. This is not gonna be y'all stay in one house and I stay somewhere else and I pop in and check on you, know what I'm saying? No. I'm there with you. I'm there with you. This is what we're doing together. A family that prays together stays together. I'm a firm believer in that. And we are all sisters and brothers in Christ, right? And this is just how this thing gonna move. I love you guys, and I want to see you guys continue to grow, continue to evolve more and more in Christ. You know what I'm saying? It's just a beautiful thing to be able to witness. I love you guys so much. Every single day that you wake up and you put 10 toes to the ground, I want you to switch yourself. Tell yourself how beautiful you are and how much you love you, because it's no love like self-love. And you first have got to love yourself way before you're able to love anybody else. It's your favorite online motivational speaker and life coach. It's your girl, Street Poet. You guys have an amazing day. Hey, no prayer call at 12. No prayer call at 12. I will actually be on the road traveling, guys. I'll be on the road. I'm about to leave. I'm about to jump in the shower now and get dressed, and then I'm headed out to Tennessee right now. So no prayer call today, no class today because of travel. And then when I get out there, I have to make sure that I take care of everything that's out there. You guys be good. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Double tap on that screen though. If you got what you needed this morning, if I blessed your soul this morning, can I get 2 teddy bears over here on TikTok? Can I get 2 teddy bears real quick? And IG, can we get 3 badges? Let me get 3 badges on IG. Y'all double tap on that screen. If it was tight, but it's right, but you got exactly what you needed on today. Thank you so much, T. Appreciate you. Is it Godfidence? Godfidence, I like that name. Okay, double tap on that screen. Appreciate those flowers that's coming. Thank you. Hey, there you go, Anna. Thank you so much for that teddy bear. Thank you, Diane. Diamond. Is it Jenkins? How y'all doing, man? Double tap on that screen. Can I get 3 badges over there on IG? Double tap on that screen. Facebook, I ain't saying nothing to y'all. I see y'all that surpass y'all go. Y'all started out slow, but y'all was like, hey, don't play with us. We on the way. Even turn that thing all the way around. Y'all at 2,621. Y'all played no games getting caught up today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. Double tap on that screen. Let's go. Is it Tamisha? Tamisha, thank you. Shay, appreciate the flowers. Thank you so much. Is it Miko Barnes? Appreciate you. Confidence. Godfidence. I see them flowers coming. I appreciate the love so much, man. I want you guys to have an amazing day, and I will see you guys soon. If you want to join the Chosen Family, the link is in my bio. Click that link. That's the link tree that's in my bio. Scroll down to where it says mental health support group. Fill out the information right there. Select the $15 tier. There's only one tier now. Select the $15 tier, and that's $15 a month. Right? Select that, get signed up, and we meet every Tuesday and Thursday. Thank you so much, Tamisha. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we have 12 p.m. prayer, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Thursday night from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., that's when we have our study group. That's when you're in the study group, that's when you're learning all these different things. You're able to bring your questions, bring your comments straight to the group, get your answers right then and there. And it's not just a study group, it's also a mental health group as well. So if you have anything that you're dealing with mentally, then you can also bring those things to the group as well. And you know what I'm saying? And we work on, listen, we right there working with you. We right there working with you. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you want to talk about, anything that you want to vent about, anything you want to just get off your chest, you want to be in a Chosen Family. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much, Benny Simpson. I appreciate that love offering so much, man. I want you guys to have an amazing day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Let's go. I love you guys. I see y'all soon.